The history of Sudan has been punctuated with major episodes of political conflict. In 1985, President Jafar Nimeri, who seized power in a coup in 1969, was ousted after a popular uprising. A new military leader assumed command with the promise of staging elections in a year's time. He kept his word, and elections were conducted in 1986. It marked the beginning of 3 years of civilian administration. But it didn't last long, as Omar el-Bashir, an army general, staged a successful coup in 1989. He would rule for 3 decades. His rule was, however, dotted with violence. In 2003, conflict broke out in Sudan's western Darfur region as rebels battled government forces. Some 300,000 people were killed and millions displaced. It is violence that has refused to go away even after a peace deal was reached in 2020. 2005 was a historical year in Sudan after 2 decades of warfare in the longest-running civil war in Africa, which resulted in the death of 2 million people. The government in the north and the rebels in the south of Sudan signed a peace agreement. The deal led to a referendum on southern secession. South Sudan was born 6 years later in 2011. But Bashir's hold onto power was loosening, and in 2019 he was toppled after a popular uprising. What followed was a period of a vicious power struggle between the army and civilian politicians over the transition to democratic rule. A transition that in April this year was disrupted by fighting between the army and the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces. CGTN.